Hi, I'm Jeanne. This morning I'm with Schuck.
Hello?
Greg is a project administrator with Metropolitan, and he's also an urban beekeeper. So we're going to be learning about his work at Metropolitan and his life as a beekeeper here in St. Paul.
Great. Let's get started. Okay, when we first approach the hive, we're going to smoke it. A little smoke at the entrance. And what the smoke does, kind of tricks the bees like there's a forest fire going on. And then what they'll do is go in and consume a little honey. Once we remove this inner cover, we can get to the frames. I want to try and get this off without too much vibration or popping. So they don't get excited, right?
Got it.
There's about 50 to 60,000 bees in here.
Wow.
So here is a full frame of honey. From this hive, I got 76 pounds of honey for myself, and I left the bees with like 60 or 70 pounds of honey.
How did you get interested in beekeeping?
I don't know the answer to that, because I'm interested in everything, you know, just watching them do their thing, you know, from fanning off the hive, keeping it cool, bringing in the nectar. I think it's pretty fascinating. Even last March I was out and they're bringing in pollen. It's March. There's no wonder where are they getting pollen from, you know? So, and it's not a little bit, it's a lot of pollen. You get little baskets in their legs, they're coming in with full of pollen. So I haven't figured that one out yet, but so it's stuff like that. It's the things you learn as you do this hobby.
What is Metropolitan?
Metropolitan is a public ride system for people with disabilities who are unable to use the fixed route system.
What does a project administrator do for Metropolitan?
Well, it's kind of varied. So we do a lot. Really, the main job is contract oversight, making sure the contractor is following the contract, which are the rules, the ADA rules and the state STS rules. The other part is the fun part. It's working with clients, resolving their issues. Sometimes it's facilities, whether it's an access issue, where you're going to park. We work a lot with communication with the clients and the providers, just to communicate where they drop someone off, making sure they're getting picked up at that location. Once you get into paratransit service and you see the work that you do and what you're doing for people, it is a humbling experience, right? I mean, I think that's one of the prides that we take in Metropolitan is doing things for clients and what we can do.
What else do you do outside work?
I work with a couple groups. I work with a Boy Scout group, which has a little cabin in Osceola, Wisconsin. We do a lot of events and use that for Boy Scouts to get their merit badges. So that's one. And the other one is I work with Outdoor Afro. I'm one of the leaders for Minnesota. And Outdoor Afro is a nonprofit organization that inspires leadership, black leadership and connections in nature. Our goal is to get people of color outdoors, enjoying things. And so sometimes that's a challenge, right? There's a lot of bad history there with the woods and the wilderness. And then people just aren't out enough.
What kinds of opportunities does Outdoor Afro provide for people?
It's pretty much the nature experience. We'll do whatever we can think of, whatever you want to do. You just give us a suggestion and we'll kind of plan that out. Events that we've done, last year we did a big camping trip. We had 26 people, a couple families. I think we had about 8 kids. So it was stressful for me. I've done this in the past, but we provided all the food and entertainment basically for the weekend, Friday night through Sunday morning. Went off without a hitch. The food was fantastic. They all like my cooking, you know, so, and that's what it is. I like teaching people. I love getting people outdoors. I try to do some extreme stuff for most people. You know, a 6-mile hike, that's not extreme. You know, it's flat terrain, but it's out in the woods. Whitewater rafting, you know, zip lining, stuff like that. So get people out of their comfort zone. And for me, that's the most rewarding when I make a change in someone's life for that.
Why is it important to you that African Americans spend time outdoors?
It's our space too, right? It's your space. I think it's important when people get a different perspective when they get out there and commune with nature, when they get to see the beauty of the state. I don't think a lot of people go places, right? Besides maybe your little city park, Como's well known, but there's a lot of small city parks that are fabulous that people don't know about. People haven't been to the state parks. I love talking to people and going to the North Shore, rugged beauty, right? There's a lot of people here who they've never left the cities. You know, people of color don't have that experience. Again, we want them to have that experience. It belongs to them too, and they're going to be our stewards in the future. We need to keep that going.
How can white folks be allies in that, in helping to get African Americans out into the parks and outdoors more? Is there a role for us?
Yeah, I think it's to be welcoming and open when we're there, right? Encouraging folks to get out there. I think that's part of the challenge, right? People of color don't feel welcome out there, especially new immigrants coming in. They're a little afraid of those areas, and it's not. They're a joy to be in. Again, they're for everybody. You know, go out there and enjoy that space. You know, take your kids, do your picnic. It's a great time.
How did your connection to nature get started?
My family, as long as I can remember, we've always been camping and fishing. I was always the nature guy, right? I'd catch the snakes and put them in a shoebox and put them in my Auntie's face. Watch him eat this frog, Auntie, watch him eat this frog. And she was duty-flu. She'd watch that frog eat, or snake eat the frog, you know, and she'd tell my mom, so, yeah.
If you'd like to learn more about Greg's work for Metromobility, visit our website at www.metrocouncil.org.